Hi, people. It's Sunday, and it's a little bit after 11. I have a little bit of time, and I came to Mormon Doctrine. It's got bigger print, and it's going to give us a lot of good stuff. So anyway, I looked up Second Coming of Christ, and over next to it, in front of it, in a different aisle, a different title, it says Second Comforter. I had never heard of that. So, it's good to learn new things. And it's not got that long of a deal, so I think maybe I'll read that to you. I was going to do the Second Coming of Christ, and it's a real long deal. My dad's got his book all marked up. I don't know how many pages there are. It's starting to rain outside. Second Coming of Christ. And after the second coming of Christ, it says, second death. See, spiritual death. Well, it definitely chilled off the air. All I know is I have my window open a little, but I got chill bumps going on. So, let's see. Second Coming of Christ starts on 687 and ends on 698 at the top of the page. So you really can't count that. We'll say 97. 87 to 97. That's 10 pages, right? I don't do my math too well anymore. So, I probably didn't say the things. My name is Lou. And today's date is the 4th of May, 2025. So, I've been going to read about the second coming of Christ forever and a day, right? I promised to come back and do that, but I kept finding other things to do. There's so many things, but the writing is small in this book. Christ's Second Coming, there it is. See, I didn't have a bookmark on it. So I'm not really sure. I turned over the page and it says Christ's first coming. The oldest Bible prophecy of the coming of Christ is in Jacob's blessing to Judah. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come. That's in Genesis 49:10. When Christ was born, see, I'm not saying that word quite right. It's S-C-E-P, sept, T-R-E. So I'm just going to say scepter. Maybe like the trident. I don't know what a scepter is. Somebody look it up. Anyway, I don't want to read all that, because that's not my purpose. But we know that Christ's first coming was when he was born. I don't know. I tell you what, I'm going to change direction. I'm going to go ahead and read that, Christ's first coming, okay? It's not that long, and we're in the little book. But there must be the print's bold, at least. The oldest Bible prophecy of the coming of Christ is Jacob's blessing on Judah. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come. And I know I already read it. Genesis 49:10. When Christ was born, the scepter had not wholly departed from Judah, for Herod the king, who reigned at the time of his birth, was virtually king of Judea. Christ was condemned to be crucified by Pontius Pilate, a Roman governor. The Shiloh had come, and the scepter had entirely departed from Judah, was under Gentile rule. Had entirely departed, comma, for Judah was under Gentile rule. The records of 3 dispensations assert that Christ was to his own, and they did not receive him. Okay, I must be just missing words here. Assert that Christ came to his own, and they did not receive him. Okay, if you're interested in the scriptures, I have some I'm going to give you. That would be John 1, verse 11. 3rd Nephi, just put a 3, Nephi 9, verse 16. Doctrine and Covenants, you can just put D and C, 6:21. Those are all 3 going to probably say something similar about what we just read. Okay, about Christ coming unto his own, and they received him not. He came to his own covenant people, the house of Israel, and though they still retained most of the forms of the Mosaic ritual, they had not apostatized from the faith of their fathers, had drunk deep into pagan philosophy. That's what it said, drunk deep into the pagan philosophy, had become wicked and corrupt, and when the Shiloh came, they knew not. I've added words again, so I'm having a hard time saying that word. It's Shiloh, or Shiloh, came, they knew him not, rejected him, and were the means of his death. They're talking about his own people, the leaders. They just weren't looking. They were caught up in their own selves. My eyes are giving me trouble. The numerous prophecies of the first coming of Christ in both the Jewish and Nephite records had a veritable fulfillment in his birth, life, sufferings, death, and resurrection, and furnished overwhelming testimony of the divine inspiration of those records. That Jesus Christ was the same being who called Abraham. Now listen to this, people. This is what I wanted to read it for. Okay, he just was born. He's a baby. Okay? And they're talking about that the record was both in the Bible and the Book of Mormon. Okay? That Jesus Christ was the same being who called Abraham from his native country, who led Israel out of the land of Egypt with mighty miracles and wonders, who made known to them his law amid the thunderings of Sinai, who delivered them from their enemies, who chastened them for their disobedience, who inspired their prophets, and whose glory filled Solomon's temple, is evident from all the inspired writings, and in none more so than in the Bible. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm covered with chill bumps by this minute, okay? And it's not because it's cold. Because they're telling you that that same baby did all those things, okay? Jesus Christ is the God of the Old Testament. Maybe I'll say that. You know, not sure how to say it, and I don't even like it. And, you know, Jesus Christ is the God of this earth. But I also read somewhere where Satan is the God of this earth. Now, it could be that he's allowed to tempt and persuade and do all kinds of things. But if we latch on to Jesus Christ, onto the real God of this earth, then we can help fight the battle, or at least our own safety from him and all those who followed him, male and female. A third of the host of heaven went with him, and they're here. Okay. So I just read that whose glory filled Solomon's temple is evident from all the inspired writings, and in none more so than in the Bible. His lamentation over Jerusalem evidences that in his humanity he had not forgotten his former exalted position. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets and stonest them that are sent unto thee, how often would I have gathered thy children together, and ye would not. Okay, that's in Matthew 23, verse 37. It was the creator of the world, this mighty ruler, this controller of the destinies of the human family, who, in his last moments, cried out in the agony of his soul, my God, my God. Why hast thou forsaken me? That's in Mark 15:34. Okay, just getting ready for the next turn here. He was the great sacrifice. For the world's redemption. It was a sacrifice worthy of deity. I got tears in my eyes, so I can't see. Sorry. How grandly, how noble, nobly is the word, how nobly it was made. It was made in the meridian of time, and it changed the character of dispensations. Israel ceased to be a nation, and the Gentile rule was ushered in, to continue for many long centuries, in which God's chosen people were to suffer terrible persecutions. We must look at Jesus Christ in his true character of God and Savior in order to form a proper conception of the great sacrifice which has opened to the human family the way to immortality. Okay, my eyes are kind of a mess. I don't know that you need to read all these things, but it gives some Bible verses you could go to, like Deuteronomy, I don't know how to say that word as we can tell, 18, verses 15 through 19, and Psalms 22, verse 69 through 20. And then it says 21. See, I haven't really read much of Psalms, so I don't know much about all that. But I'm having a hard time reading. So they've got Psalms 22, okay? And then you pass that by, and then it's got 21, semicolon, 118, verse 22. Then it's got a comma, and then it's got 26. So I'm getting a little lost as to where the chapters are, because that's probably, it could be a verse 26, or it could be the whole chapter. Okay, and then it's got Isaiah 7, verse 14, 9, verse 2, 6, 7, 42. Then it's got like a 1, 3, 4. So I don't understand what they've got going on. And then they've got a few more, but I'm going to go straight to Acts. Acts 3, verse 22. Then it's got a comma, and then it's got 23. So it would be, I don't understand, if it was just a verse 23, then it should be 22/23. But instead they've got a comma. So I don't know. I know the Book of Mormon thingy's better. Anyway, so in the Book of Mormon, you can go to 1 Nephi, just put a 1 Nephi, chapter 10, verse 4. And see, then it's still got that comma and a 5, so it could be verse 4 and 5. No, they use that dash. Okay, I just can't tell. So, sorry, I got distracted. So that was 1 Nephi 10, 4, 5. Then that's I can't tell if it's a colon or a semicolon, okay? So it would be 1 Nephi chapter 12, verse 3, and then it's got a comma and a 4, semicolon. So then 1 Nephi 19, verse 10, 11, and 12. That's just weird. I'm going to skip around some, okay? So let's see. That's Mosiah 3. That's in the Book of Mormon. Mosiah 3, verses 5 through 10. And then it's 13, and then it's 15. Anyway, they're getting me lost as the way they're doing things. Alma 39, 18, 19. Helaman 14, verse 12. 3 Nephi 1, 9 through 14. That is a really good one. Okay, that's one I would tell you to go read. Because, where'd it go? Okay. Yeah, 3rd Nephi, chapter 1, verses 9 through 14. That's where Jesus Christ is proclaiming that he's going to be born. The sign's going to be given on this night, and tomorrow I come into the world. He's telling that to Nephi. Because they'd be fixing to be killed by the non-believers. The unbelievers said, okay, the time is long past. The sign should have been given, and we're going to kill you. So we're tired of your crap. No, they didn't believe. They were about to kill all these people. And so Nephi had been out praying all day long. Probably longer than that, but all day long crying to the Lord, mightily crying to the Lord for his people, not just for himself. And that's what Jesus told him. I mean, that's where you'll find it. So 3rd Nephi, chapter 1, verse 9 through 14. But I would continue and read the whole thing. There's not that many more verses. So I found that that's what I ended up doing. I went to read it and then I read more. And then you find that you backtrack and go back and read what was before. So sometimes I just say, just read the whole chapter 1. But you can go and do what they said. Go to verse 9 and start there. Hopefully it tells you, I mean, that's why I wanted to tell you what's going on. You know, he's out there praying to the Lord, crying mightily to the Lord, so that his people won't be killed. I mean, words are words, but it was real. Anyway. So, this made me tired already. So the next one is what I was supposed to read, Christ's second coming. So should I just stop and do that on its own? Maybe. Dog's crying, so who's he crying for? I don't know. He cries like that for his, we'll call him Master, Tyler. But he does that also for Jessica and for Diego. When they've been gone, he'd be waiting for him. Or when they come in and they've been gone for a little bit, he'd be crying. Okay. The second coming one in here. Let's see how many. Oh, it doesn't have as many pages at all. The scattering of Israel. Okay, I think I will go ahead and shut her down since it is two different subjects. But it's not. I mean, I just read about his first coming, and I'm fixing to read about his second coming. So I guess I could do that. And especially since it's out of the little book. The little book is not near as big as Mormon doctrine is. Okay. Christ's second coming. Christ's first coming attracted comparatively little attention. He was born a helpless infant under very humble circumstances. Through the ministration of an angel, a few shepherds rejoiced over his advent, and some wise men. who must have known of and believed in prophecies concerning him, visited and made presents to him. They were warned to leave the country in a private manner on account of the evil designs of Herod. He grew up in obscurity. Okay, let me go over that again. Okay, so Jesus' mom and dad were warned. That's who they are. It says they were warned to leave the country in a private manner on account of the evil designs of Herod. He grew up in obscurity, performed his labors in the ministry, in affliction and persecution, and apparently to men died the death of a malefactor. At his second appearance, he will come with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail, W-A-I-L, because of him. That's in Revelation 1, verse 7. Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000 of his saints to execute judgment upon all. That's in Jude 14, 15. So that must be chapter 14 and chapter 15. He shall have dominion from sea to sea, and from the river unto the ends of the earth. That's in Psalms 72, verse 8. Yea, all kings shall fall down before him. All nations shall serve him. Looks like that's verse 11. The Son of Man shall come down in heaven. The Son of Man shall come down in heaven, clothed in the brightness of his glory, to meet the kingdom of God, which is set up on this earth. And I added a word, which is set up on the earth. And that's in Doctrine and Covenants. So just write down D&C 65, verse 5. When will Christ come in his glory and power? This question many millions of the human family have asked, and the query still remains unanswered. Jesus said to his disciples, Be ye therefore ready also, for the Son of Man cometh at an hour when ye think not. That's Luke 12:40. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. 2 Peter 3:10. But the hour and the day no man knoweth, neither the angels in heaven, nor shall they know until he comes. And that's also D&C 49, verse 7. The Lord has not told us that there shall be no period of time designated. Okay, somehow I think I have like blind spots or something. The Lord has not told us that there shall be no period of time designated in which he will come, but that neither the day nor the hour be known. Had we a correct chronology, we might perhaps approximate very closely to the year. For according to Doctrine and Covenants 77, verse 12, It will be in the beginning of the 7,000 years. It will be a time of destruction for the wicked. The Lord shall punish the host of the high ones. They are on high. Okay, that are on high. Let me read that again. The Lord shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. Isaiah 24:21. The Lord who shall come down upon the world with a curse to judgment, yea, upon all the nations that forget God, and upon all the ungodly among you. That's Doctrine and Covenants, section 133, verse 2. There will be great commotion and changes in the elements. The foundations of the earth do shake. The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean, dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. That's Isaiah 24:18 through 20. The fulfillment of the prophecies and the signs of the times indicate that the coming of the Son of Man is nigh at hand. The Lord, through Joseph the seer, also informs us that this is the case. Not many days hence, and the earth shall tremble and reel to and fro as a drunkard man, and the sun shall hide his face and shall refuse to give light, and the moon shall be bathed in blood, and the stars shall become exceedingly angry, and shall cast themselves down as a fig that falleth from off a fig tree. Doctrine and Covenants, so it's D&C 88, verse 87. Israel requested Moses when around Mount Horeb that they might know more Okay, so I knew I read that wrong. When around Mount Horeb, that they might no more hear the voice of the Lord, nor see his glory, lest they should die. They had not faith to behold his presence, and the law of carnal commandments was given them. When they were about to enter into the land of their inheritance, Moses rehearsed these things to them and repeated what the Lord had said to him concerning the future prophet. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. Now this is Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 18, and then chapter 19. The Book of Mormon informs us that this prophet was Jesus Christ. Behold, I am he of whom Moses spake, saying, A prophet shall the Lord your God raise up unto you and your brethren like unto me. That's 3 Nephi 20:23. Peter, when he reproved the Jews for killing the Prince of Life, repeated this prophecy, rendering the latter part of it a little plainer. Every soul which will not hear that prophet shall be cut off from among the people. That's Acts 3, verse 22. And then it must be chapter 23. I don't know. It's got a comma and a space and then a 23. It is evident from verses 19 through 21 that the time when those who would not hear that prophet should be cut off would be at the time of the restitution of all things. When he, whose right it is, shall reign, and the kingdoms of the world shall become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his Christ. The prophet Joseph says, I was once praying very earnestly to know the time of the coming of the Son of Man, when I heard a voice repeat the following, Joseph, my son, if thou livest until thou art 85 years old, thou shalt see the face of the Son of Man. Therefore let this suffice, and trouble me no more on this matter. I was left thus without being able to decide whether this coming referred to the beginning of the millennium or to some previous appearing, or whether I should die and thus see his face. I believe the coming of the Son of Man will not be any sooner than that time. And then it's got a reference, D&C, section 130, verses 14 through 17. I'm almost done with this part, guys. I was going to say, if not, I'm going to quit. I have asked of the Lord concerning his coming, and while asking the Lord, he gave me a sign and said, in the days of Noah, I set a bow in the heavens as a sign and token that in any year that the bow should be seen, the Lord would not come. He's talking about the rainbow. Okay. But there should be seed, time, and harvest during that year. But whenever you see the bow withdrawn, it shall be a token that there shall be famine, pestilence, and great distress among the nations, and that the coming of the Messiah is not far distant. I also prophesy in the name of the Lord that Christ will not come in 40 years, and if God ever spoke by my mouth, he will not come in that length of time. Brethren, when you go home, write this down, that it may be remembered Jesus Christ never did reveal to any man the precise time that he would come. History of Joseph Smith, March 10th, 1844. Okay, now see, that's out of the little book, okay? And before I picked this up today, I went ahead and got the Mormon Doctrine out. Scattering of Israel is one of those. I don't know what happened to my bookmarks. I cut up a whole bunch and they disappeared. So I'll have to make some more. The Scattering of Israel. Everything has a plan, so it's just, we don't know. We don't know everything or the reasons why. And what is it they say? Yours is not to reason why, yours is but to do or die. Not a good expression, right? I was going to say one that you say to your kids, but that would not be a good thing to say to your kids. Yours is but to do or die. I have got cold chills, man. I guess I should shut that window. It amazes me that I be cold. Okay, so no, let's put my glasses back on. That was just out of the little book. Let's see what's going on here. I don't think I read that to you guys. About the second comforter. I think I decided not to read it. That's why. Well, you know what? I'm kind of tired. So I think I'm gonna stop. I read to you about the second coming of Christ, kind of, sorta, in the little book, Principles of the Gospel. I'm tired. Ugh. I don't want to get started reading and then run out of juice, and I don't want to fall asleep on you either. I can't tell you what's in here because I haven't read it, but my dad sure did. He's got it all marked up. He's got 3 check marks over here on this one. Judah must return. Jerusalem must be rebuilt. And the temple and water come out from under the temple, and the waters of the Dead Sea be healed. It will take some time to rebuild the walls of the city of the temple. Yeah, there's a whole bunch. And even with a fresh start, I don't know if I could do it. But right now, I'm just feeling awfully tired, like I need to go lay down. So I might just do that. A little side note, doesn't have anything to do with the scriptures, okay? Something I was reading to you or talking to you about earlier. I don't know if that was today or yesterday. Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. I looked it up last night on Safari, I guess. Where can you see it? And it looked to me like it's playing on Netflix. So, I haven't been down to check it out yet. I sent word to my daughter that it was. But anyway, any of you out there, especially if you're from my age group or whatever, somewhere around there, you old hippy dippy people, no, that love the Beatles, love the Beatles, love the Bee Gees too. But I mean, all of those people were not part of me. No, when I was talking to you about taking something into your bosom, because I read that in the scriptures recently, it was taken into its bosom. And it's true. So when you take things in and you internalize them, they become part of you. That's basically the same thing, right? So there's a lot of music out there that's a part of a lot of us. But especially the Beatles, my goodness. And the music that's in that show has to do with, geez, I don't even know my Beatles stuff enough, and I should. So I can't just know that Strawberry Fields Forever is one of the songs, and there's a lot of different songs, and probably some we don't even know. But it's good stuff, Maynard. Let's see, who else played in that? I can see his face, but I can't come up with his name. Steve Martin. I think that's him. He played in that show. A little teeny cameo appearance type of deal. Maybe a little more than a cameo or whatever. There was a scene. I can see him, but I don't know the scene to tell you. It's like they're building robots, or the people are becoming robots. They're evil. No, I'm not laughing at the evil. I'm laughing at my memory, but it has been many years. So I'm going to, if it's playing on Netflix, I'm going to watch it sometime when I'm sitting there all by my lonesome. Anyway, happy trails, people. Have a good one. I'm going to try. I mean, I have been doing fine. Lately, I've got this problem down in here. It almost feels like heartburn without it being heartburn, but there's just something not right down there. I'm tired. I go back to the doctor this week, just in case anybody's trying to keep track. I go to get my treatments. I don't know that I'm going to see the doctor this time. I have to look up my actual printout of what's going to be going on, okay? I might see her this next week. If not, it'll be the next time. And so when I go in for my treatments, I'm either going to just have shots or I'm going to do the IV and the shots. The IV is supposed to be once every 3 months. So I'm just seems to me like I shouldn't have to have the IV this month. It'll be next month. And I shouldn't see the doctor. I shouldn't see the doctor this month either. And all those things cost money. So I need to find out about that. So I'm spending at least $100 a month for my treatments and seeing my doctor. And then every 3 months I've got to do a PET scan, and so that was $250. And then I got a bill in the mail, and that doesn't look like they're showing some payments that I made. So I went and I dug out my payments. So I'm going to be taking those with me. Let's see if I can get anywhere. So I don't think I owe that money. But I was so used to not having to pay for any of that stuff. I talked to my agent, my insurance agent, and she said that, see, what I have, I believe what I have is a PPO, which means anywhere I go, I can be seen as long as they take my insurance. So they call that what? You know, a lot of times it matters whether you're in network, but you definitely don't get to leave the state and then go get to use doctors. Seems like they still should be in network because they cover United Healthcare for one thing. They take United Healthcare. So I believe that's the way it is. As long as your insurance, as long as they take your insurance, it all should be fine. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so what I gotta do, besides yawn and stretch and stuff, okay, I'm gonna put this piece of paper in this book. Because I did not do any of the second coming. Okay, so I'm stopping. I'm putting my big old bookmark there. What time is it? Oh my. I need to go wake up. Time for me to go. So it's Sunday. Let's have a great day. You probably won't get me right away. But nevertheless, I will try to do good. Yeah. The last couple of days when I woke up in the morning, I didn't go back to bed. I didn't go back to sleep. I mean, I get up and I go potty, and so if it's after 7, I'm up. Today, I think it was around 6-ish. And then I scrolled until after 7. So that's what it is. I did some scrolling. But right now I feel tired. So I need to get up and go move around. Get red tea. So good day, mate. It's been a good morning. Jessica and I have already been to the gym. We had a tanning session and did some, I guess you'd call it exercises, okay? Where you do your calves. Trying to improve my calves' strength. And also, anyway, I didn't do very good. But I just have to keep at it. And then pretty soon I'll be able to do it. I could do it, just not. Jessie kept saying, get up on your tiptoes. I am on my toes. No, you're not. Anyway, we just have to do our best to keep doing better. And I keep getting closer to the second coming of Christ. I just keep getting distracted, which I'm very good at getting distracted. But you guys take care out there, okay? And I'll see you around the bend. And our 33 is coming up pretty soon, so I'll just try to go then. You guys take care, and I do. I love you. Brothers and sisters, I love you.